In 1991, an ambulance races toward a heavily guarded prison deep inside China. Sitting in the back is a CIA operative named Tom Bishop, disguised as a doctor delivering a vaccine shipment. The moment the guards are distracted, Bishop triggers a short circuit, throwing the entire prison into darkness. Using the confusion, he blasts open a cell and frees the prisoner he came for. But just as the ambulance reaches the main gate, the prison warden gets suspicious and surrounds the vehicle with armed guards. Trapped with nowhere to run, Bishop is dragged out, overpowered, and taken back into custody. News of the failed mission reaches the American embassy almost immediately, where veteran CIA officer Nathan Muir is called in on what should have been the final day of his career before retirement. The second he reads the report, his heart sinks. The captured agent is Tom Bishop, the best operative he ever trained. Muir arrives at CIA headquarters and quickly notices something's off. A sharp agency executive named Charles Harker is already digging through Bishop's classified files, looking for answers. Sensing where this is headed, Muir quietly slows things down, then secretly tells his secretary to burn almost every file, keeping only a single page. He's been in the spy game way too long not to recognize the setup. Inside the briefing, the real situation starts to unfold. The President of the United States is about to visit China to lock in a massive trade agreement, and Bishop's capture could blow the whole deal apart. Muir's superior, Troy Folger, lays it out straight. They've got just 24 hours. If the U.S. refuses to claim Bishop, the Chinese will execute him at dawn. Worse yet, because Bishop went rogue without authorization, the CIA has already decided they aren't sending anyone to save him. They didn't bring Muir in to plan a rescue. They brought him in to help justify leaving Bishop behind. The moment Muir realizes what's really going on, he knows he's completely on his own. So while he plays along in the meeting, feeding everyone just enough truth to keep them satisfied, he's secretly putting together a rescue plan behind their backs. As the discussion continues, the story keeps flashing back to show why Muir is willing to risk everything for this one man. Their history goes all the way back to Vietnam in 1975, where Muir first crosses paths with a young Marine sniper named Tom Bishop, a guy with unbelievably steady aim who casually claims he learned to shoot in the Boy Scouts. To test him, Muir gives Bishop what seems like an impossible assignment: take out a Laotian officer from an extreme distance. Even with a helicopter closing in fast, Bishop nails the shot without hesitation, then turns his rifle on the helicopter and brings it crashing down too. But what impresses Muir the most isn't the incredible marksmanship. When Bishop's wounded spotter can't make it out, he refuses to leave him behind, carrying the injured man to safety under heavy enemy fire. That's the moment Muir knows he's looking at someone special, and he recruits Bishop into the CIA. In Berlin, Muir begins turning Bishop into a real intelligence officer. He teaches him how to read people in seconds, catch the smallest lie, beat a polygraph test, and pull valuable secrets out of complete strangers through casual conversation. More than anything else, Muir drills one rule into his head: never risk your life for an asset. In their line of work, people are tools, and tools are meant to be used. But that cold philosophy is something Bishop can never fully accept, and it slowly creates a crack between the mentor and his student. That crack becomes impossible to ignore during a mission in Berlin. Muir deliberately uses an informant named Schmidt as live bait, knowing it could cost him his life, just to expose a Russian mole hidden inside the embassy. The plan works, but Schmidt is killed in the process. Bishop is shaken by the man's death, while Muir barely reacts. To him, espionage has always been a ruthless game of numbers, where sacrifices are unavoidable. But Bishop sees it differently. He believes every life matters, and that fundamental difference drives a wedge between them that only grows deeper with time.
The growing divide between them finally reaches a breaking point in Beirut in 1985. Working undercover as a photographer, Bishop is assigned to track down a terrorist sheik responsible for bombing the American embassy. While gathering intelligence, he meets Elizabeth Hadley, a humanitarian aid worker delivering medicine to children in some of the city's poorest neighborhoods. The two quickly fall for each other, and what begins as a chance meeting turns into a genuine relationship. But behind the romance, Bishop's mission depends on getting close to a local doctor named Ahmed, the sheik's personal physician. Muir manages to turn Ahmed into an informant after revealing that the sheik was responsible for murdering his parents. Consumed by revenge, Ahmed agrees to help assassinate the terrorist by secretly poisoning him with a slow-acting serum. While the operation moves forward, Muir also digs into Elizabeth's past and uncovers something that changes everything. He confronts Bishop and reveals that Elizabeth was once connected to a group involved in a bombing in Britain that accidentally killed several Chinese civilians, including the son of a powerful Chinese official. Ever since then, Chinese authorities have been hunting her. The revelation tears the couple apart for a while, but they eventually reconcile after Bishop comes clean and tells Elizabeth the truth about his real identity.
Before the poison can do its job, the mission falls apart as violent fighting erupts across the city. Unwilling to let the sheik slip away, Muir activates a ruthless backup plan. He arranges for a militia to detonate a car bomb outside the sheik's hotel. The explosion succeeds in killing the target, but it also claims the lives of dozens of innocent civilians, including Dr. Ahmed. For Bishop, it's the final straw. He can no longer accept Muir's belief that innocent lives are just collateral damage. He tells his mentor he's done following his orders, walks away for good, and goes looking for Elizabeth, only to discover she's disappeared without a trace, leaving behind nothing but a letter. Back in the present, Muir finally pieces everything together. He realizes the prisoner Bishop risked everything to rescue was Elizabeth. Even worse, he understands exactly how she ended up inside that Chinese prison. Years earlier, Muir had secretly traded Elizabeth to the Chinese government in exchange for the release of an American agent. Part of his reason was to eliminate what he saw as a dangerous distraction from Bishop's career. He always believed Bishop would eventually move on, but he never imagined the kid would spend years searching for her and ultimately risk his own life to bring her home. The weight of that decision now fuels everything Muir does next. Running out of time, Muir decides to go completely rogue. His first move is to force the CIA's hand by leaking news of Bishop's capture to a trusted contact in Hong Kong named Gibson, hoping the media will create enough pressure to spark a rescue. But Harker quickly shuts the story down, convincing reporters it was nothing more than a fake rumor. With that plan dead, Muir puts together something far bolder. He secretly steals a detailed map of the prison, empties his entire retirement fund, more than $282,000 into a single account, and forges what appears to be an official rescue order signed by the CIA director himself. He even bribes a corrupt Chinese officer to cut power to the prison for 30 minutes and arranges fake approval so every part of the operation looks completely legitimate. Eventually, Harker traces the missing money and confronts Muir in front of the entire team. Without missing a beat, Muir calmly pulls out a glossy brochure for a luxury retirement home in the Bahamas and claims the money was simply for his future after leaving the agency. The excuse is convincing enough to throw everyone off. That same night, every piece of Muir's secret plan falls perfectly into place. Right on schedule, the prison is plunged into darkness as the power goes out. Moments later, 2 helicopters carrying a covert rescue team burst out of the night sky. The operatives storm the compound, move with incredible speed, and pull Bishop out before the guards even realize what's happening. At first, Bishop believes he's the only one being rescued. Then he looks across the helicopter and is stunned to see Elizabeth sitting safely beside him. Both of them have made it out alive. Just as the helicopter lifts away, the pilot casually says 3 words: Operation Dinner Out. Bishop immediately freezes. That was a private code name from their days together in Lebanon, the name of a small operation he once invented just to get Muir a birthday gift. In that instant, he knows exactly who made this impossible rescue happen. Back at CIA headquarters, reports begin pouring in that something has gone terribly wrong at the Chinese prison. One by one, the executives realize the truth. The tired old case officer they believed they could manipulate on his final day had completely outsmarted every single one of them. By the time they figure out what really happened, it's already too late. Nathan Muir has walked away from the agency for good, successfully saving the one person who truly mattered to him, no matter the personal cost. If you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to subscribe and share it with your friends.